December 5th, which means it is time for day 5 of Vlogmas. I'm going to be talking about flowers. I'm getting married pretty soon. And so in preparation for the discussion about real flowers, we're going to be talking about 7 books that spell out the letters F.L.O.W.E.R.S. Flowers. I have a lot of books on my TBR. Some of them are books that I started, or did I try a chapter tag, or did a page 112 tag, or read the first few lines, or read the first few pages and really planned to finish and just didn't get to. So I have a lot of books hanging around on my TBR, or just some of them are books that I'm just really interested in, books that have been gifted to me, books that I really want to read before the end of the year. So I chose 7 books that spell out the letters that make up the word flowers, and I'm going to share those 7 books with you today, and I'm going to ask you to pick one of these books for me to read before the end of the year. Just one. Pick one of the books that you want me to read, whether it's the F book, the L book, the O book. Let me not spell out flowers again. Here we go. The first book is Faithful by Alice Hoffman. I bought this when I bought my 30 books for $3, and I shared that haul. If you didn't watch that video, click the link down below to watch it. But Faithful is a book about a young lady. I think she's growing up in Long Island when there's an accident and she and her best friend are involved. Her best friend's life is forever changed, but I think she escapes unscathed, and she has survivor's guilt. And I think at some point she's visited by the angel who saved her. And the rest of the story is about her encounter with the angel. I think I did a little flip through of this book, and I've wanted to read it. And I think the fact that it's angelic or spiritual based, that this is a good time to read it. So let me know you want me to read Alice Hoffman's Faithful before the end of the year. My L book is Lily and the Octopus by Stephen Rowley. This is a book about a man and his best friend who's a dog. Lily is the dog, I think. And the synopsis doesn't give a lot of information, but I've heard that this book is really profound and really moving in terms of its discussion of the relationship and the bond that humans can have with animals and what animals can do for us. So I've been wanting to read this book ever since I've heard about it. I think I also got this in, no, that might not have been that haul, but I got this one pretty recently, and I've been wanting to read it ever since. And so if you want me to read Lily and the Octopus, the L book, then leave that comment down below. My O book is a book that I wanted to read since I saw it in the bookstore. I eventually found my own copy. This is a not out of print, but a kind of hard to acquire book. It's Unloved by Alain de Botton. This is a British writer, I think. And I started reading this book. I just never finished. It's about a man who meets a woman on a flight. I think they're traveling either from Paris or to Paris. And this man meets this woman and is immediately smitten by her and starts a relationship with her. And even though he's like a hopeless romantic, I think he falls in and out of love with her as her personality is revealed. I mean, he doesn't know a lot about her in meeting her on the plane, but as they get to know each other better, he either falls deeper in love with her or falls out of love. I don't know. It's about love. It's an exposition of love, which I'm about to make the biggest love commitment of my life, so it's probably a good time for me to read this book or not. So if you want me to read Unloved by Alain de Botton, or at least finish it, because I started it before, but I'm gonna have to start again. Let me know in the comments down below if you want me to read Unloved by Alain de Botton. And of course, if you've read it before, then definitely let me know that as well, because I haven't met a lot of people who've read this book, even though the author I think is very well known. Then my W book is Where'd You Go, Bernadette by Maria Semple. I started reading this book with a girl that I was tutoring. She was required to read this book in middle school, and I didn't understand why. We started reading it, and she, you know what? I don't think she was required to read it. I think she chose it to read as her independent reading book, and we started reading it together. And then she quit because she didn't like the story, and so I also quit because I didn't have a motivation to complete it. So I'm gonna have to start reading this book again. If you pick this book for me to read before the end of the year, Where'd You Go, Bernadette? I think in the story, Bernadette is the mother. We have a teenage narrator, and the family is preparing to go on a trip, and the mother doesn't like to leave home. She's agoraphobic, and so the mother, I think, disappears while they're planning the trip, even though she's been kind of psyching herself up to go. If you want me to read Where'd You Go, Bernadette by Maria Semple, you know what to do. Leave me a comment down below. It's kind of hard for me to find a book where the title started with E, but I found Everyone Communicates, Few Connect. This is by John Maxwell. I got this book maybe last year sometime when I was doing a self-help motivational speaking kind of preparation course, and I got this book and I've been wanting to read it ever since. I think I read a few pages out of it, but I never read the whole thing. And as I'm about to embark on a relationship where I guess my communication skills are going to be tested, it's probably a good time for me to read this book. So Everyone Communicates, Few Connect by John Maxwell. If you've read it or if you know anything about John Maxwell's teachings and you want me to read this book, then you know what to do. My R book is run by Ann Patchett. So far, the only Ann Patchett book I've read was Commonwealth, and I really liked a lot of things about that book. I like the way she set up her story. Even though we spent a lot of time going back and forth between characters in Commonwealth, and I feel like I didn't get to know all the characters as well as I probably could have, I really like Ann Patchett's writing style, and so I've collected a couple of other of her books, and Run is one of them. This one I think happens in Boston around this time of the year. It's involving a politician whose wife has died, and I think he's solely responsible for raising their two sons, and there's some diversion of thought about what the sons should be. So maybe he's not raising them, they're probably a little older. But in any case, it's a discussion about legacy, I think, and what you do when the people that you love are no longer around. I don't know what the book is about, but if you've read Run by Ann Patchett or Bel Canto or Commonwealth or any of Ann Patchett's books that you want me to read Run before the end of this year, because I think this one happens during a snowstorm, which is why the cover looks blurry like this. So maybe I should save this for a snowy day, and I think there's snow before the end of the year. One can only hope. It might be a white Christmas. And then my S book is one that I won recently in a Goodreads giveaway. This is Stay Up With Hugo Best by Erin Summers. This is an ARC that I got, and the book is being published in April 2019, so I'd like to read it before the publication date so I can do a full blog post and review someplace here. And the story is about a young woman. She's an up-and-coming comic, and she's invited to the home of this maybe older celebrity, and she's not sure what their relationship will be like if she accepts the invitation to go to his home. So I guess the quandary of trying to figure out what she's willing to do in order to improve her chances of making it in the entertainment business. I don't know, but it seems like an apt discussion to have in a book right now, given the Me Too movement and everything that's happened in Hollywood with harassment and people overstepping their boundaries and maybe over-exaggerating how needy young women are. So I don't know what this book is definitely going to be about, but that's the synopsis. And so those are my 7 books that spell out the word flowers. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know which one of these books you're recommending or asking or requesting that I read before the end of the year. So now we're going to cut to the next part of this video, which is me just talking about flowers and shopping for flowers and hopefully arranging flowers for the centerpieces for the wedding, because this video is not going to go up until after the wedding. So hopefully this video is more than just me talking about books about flowers. It's also me experiencing flowers. Stay tuned for that. I'm in the floral district in Manhattan. We're 7 days out from the wedding and I'm still shopping for vases for the centerpieces. But if there's a place to find it, this is it. And I'm gonna go into this store and see what they're selling their centerpiece vases for. And this is me distracting myself with the sights and sounds of New York City when I realized just how expensive real flowers are. Maybe we should stick to the flowers in books. And that's the park.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to all of it.
I am.
I want us to not be stressed.
I mean, I think stress comes with a little bit of a part of the day, but you know.
Yeah. But I mean, like, even the days and the hours leading up to it,
Sure.
I want to do everything that I can to make sure that things run smoothly.
Of course.
So I'm going to do everything I can to make this wedding awesome. I'm going to go back to the store tomorrow to shop for flowers again.
So pretty.
You got to see what she
I didn't get to see it.
They're probably not, you know? But
We didn't work on that job.
I've been spending so much time looking at flowers online, on Pinterest, in magazines. I've been looking at centerpieces everywhere. I spent so much time in the floral district that I'm starting to see flowers everywhere. I'm even seeing flowers places where they don't belong. Like I'm seeing flowers for heads. Is that normal?
I like this flower head and flower dress. This is amazing. This is awesome. And the girl who was just walking by agrees with me.
It is December 8th. I'm getting married tomorrow. I'm getting married tomorrow. We are getting married tomorrow. Tomorrow's our wedding day.
What do you want to do for these? Sorry?
Centerpiece roses, centerpiece flowers being collected. Yes.
You want to bring it over here?
Thanks. For my male attendants. These are the kitties coming into service.
I didn't cry, I just teared up.
You have children as your bridal party.
yeah.
Yep.
Look at that picture. I got glasses again.
Yes.
Look at that. Bring on your face.
I was like, wait,
Look at it again.
you guys are
Oh,
more.
yes.
You guys are more. I said you.
Look at this bling.
Oh, hi. Hi. Oh, so he's gonna be on your YouTube channel?
Maybe.
Turn off post notifications, you already know. Yeah, so we're supposed to be. You already know.
You guys, watch that mirror over there.
Move. When you take a picture, then you just delete it right after. I'm going.